Muri Zimbabwe. Ndadzoka ndini wenyu Cde Geza kana kuti bombshell. Takakutaurirai kuti tiri varume veaction. Action matoiona yatotanga. Hatisi kudzokera kumashure. Right? Imwe zvikananda nemapolitical criminals. Shanai nehunhu hwenyu. Munopera. Right? Shanai nehunhu hwenyu. Right? Iri ndo rinonzi game redu manje. Right? Rokudya nemi zvatunzwa. Saka povo yeZimbabwe mazvionera. Ngatichisakanai muhwandu hwedu musi wa31 tichipedzisa basa tiri pamwe chete takabatana. Ndatenda.
Him coming live and then address the people of the Republic of Zimbabwe. So it was quick, it was short and precise. And looking at whatever which is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe, key issues are that it seems as if these comrades, they are not backing down. Because remember, what they've done so far, it carries consequences. If they fail on this mission, what it means, there are serious repercussions which they are going to face. So they are not going to allow that to happen. They are not going to give a chance to this regime, which means they are going to fight for as much as they can to make sure that there is success in their programs. So it's now left to the people of Zimbabwe to make decisions, to get into the streets and then liberate themselves. I always say peaceful protests are allowed and enshrined in the Constitution. And if you read the Constitution very well, people are allowed to demonstrate, to march, and to show displeasure whenever the government fails. And the message was so clear to Gananda, and he says, Munwese, Murodi, and let us meet and do this. This is the message which he has sent. So it shows the significance and the importance of whatever which is about to happen in the nation of Zimbabwe. And in my view, this is the beginning of a new dawn. In my view, this is the beginning of a fresh start, probably in the nation of Zimbabwe. I don't see what happened in 2017 repeating itself. I don't see the greediness which engulfed the ZANU-PF, the Chinamasas, and others repeating itself this time around, which means probably they will need protection from the people, because there is going to be resistance. That resistance is what is going to make them not dump citizens and not dump the people. So in as much as the people would think they are going to be used again, I believe there is a great chance for the people to have a new great Zimbabwe. So the update, as I said earlier, it was very, very short and precise. People believed it would be longer, but at this time around, it was so short. So I was trying to bring something, but unfortunately, X is down so far, which means we cannot bring that at this point in time. But what we have to note is that the police, they've noted, and the police are doing whatever they can to make sure that they intimidate the people, they threaten the people. But the new Zimbabwe National Army commander has been sworn in and has taken office right now. But it's a little too late for him to be able to make critical changes, which might save Emerson if there is need for them to save him. But we are looking at some of the important issues. The major question is, will protests on the 31st happen? And that is a very important question. So whatever which is happening, number one, Cde Geza is a man who gained support and popularity in just a few months and is coming at the right time. Is resonating with what the masses are talking about. The issues of corruption, they are rampant in Zimbabwe, and the government and the authorities, they've refused to deal with those protests. So we have seen the dismissal of key military figures for example, Anselm Sanyatwe, as a way of trying to consolidate power and avert potential coups. But what I know is mvura payakafamba napo haikanganwi. But what changes is the volume. What changes is the amount. What might change is that it might deviate just a few meters from its original course and do some things. So historically, we have seen that Zimbabwean government, they always employ measures such as to switch down the internet or switch off the internet. It's expected to be seen, which means that the people will need to have other methods. They will need to have things like VPN and whatsoever so that they can be able to coordinate themselves. And in my view, the police must not come to beat people, to spray people, to stop people. They must come simply to maintain law and order. People must be allowed to protest on the 31st, and then the police will say no to vandalism, no to violence, and then be peaceful. That is the reason why we have law enforcement. So if they were saying we are mobilizing the police to come and assist us to maintain law and order, it was going to be easy for them. But because they want to impose war onto the people, it then becomes a very, very big problem. So that is something which we have noted. So in conclusion of this question, the chances of this protest to happen are very, very high because people are eager to know what is going to happen. People are eager to have a new Great Zimbabwe. Zvigananda zvatinazvo izvi zviri kuba. In the days of Robert Mugabe kwaibiwa, but this is worse. You know, if you go to areas like Mwenezi, I got a call just a few days ago. They are planning to relocate people without compensation in that area. And that is not proper. How do you relocate people who occupy small pieces of land? And then where are you going to put them so that they can start afresh from zero? Even if you are compensating them, they will be compensated in ZIG, which does not make economic sense at all. So what we have to expect on 31st, we are saying so because the people must be prepared so that they know how to respond and how to deal with a certain situation. We are likely going to see repression and brutality being deployed, particularly from the police. Then we are likely going to see some abductions happening to key people. If there are people who are believed to be part and parcel of the protest, we are likely going to see abductions happening, arrests happening. And remember, it's tomorrow and the Sunday. These days are very, very critical. So you are going to see that happening. And also might see even things like torture, extrajudicial killings happening, which means the people need to be very, very wise. Ndopakakoshera kutenga pito ipapa muma streets, mukanzwa pito yarira mu location. What it means is umwe wenyu anenge atopinda panguva yakaoma, and you need to rescue each other and help each other. And also we are going to have things like legal suppression. They will try to go to court to stop that from happening, such that when they deploy forces, they will justify it to say takaenda court tikaedza kuimisa, but the people continued. So that is a likelihood it might happen, but it's little too late because we have gone into the weekend and the protest will be on Monday, which means that the planners, they were strategic on that day. Then we have seen criminalizing of dissent happening already. We have seen people being charged, like Nyokaima Bono has been charged. We have seen the police warning people, the Minister of Home Affairs warning people that they are going to deal with anybody who is going to partake into sharing and dissemination of the information to do with the protest. Blessed Mhlanga is already there as an example. So another thing which is expected but little too late is that if they had gotten access to some people planning, we were going to see some divide and conquer tactics being deployed. That is bribery, that is provoking infighting, that is labeling protesters as foreign agents. But it's little too late to do that. Those schemes no longer proceed very, very well in the nation of Zimbabwe, which means that they are not going to win on that. Then there is a possibility of psychological warfare. What it means is we are going to have more surveillance and intimidation in the next 2 days. You might see the police releasing lists of new people who will be wanted. It's a likelihood that you might see it happening. You might see them staging counter protests or putting people within the masses who will be causing violence and anything else so as to justify the deployment of the police and the use of force. So, however, there is a fear that there is going to be retaliation, given that there is a police officer who was shot in Bulawayo. That has caused a lot of trembling within the security forces because he was shot by 5 men who were wearing black clothes, who are not known where they come from, who they are, and what was the motive, what they were doing. So that is another very important issue right there, which means there is a fear of retaliation. Also, the police officers who are going to be deployed, they are going to do so. They will be in fear of reprisals. They will be in fear if this thing succeeds and then Emerson steps down, what will be their fate? That is another issue. So there is a lot to expect from whatever which is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe and what has been said by Comrade Geza. But what we need to note is that he did something which was very, very short and very, very precise. That is to say, let us meet in the streets on the 31st. And our hope and our belief is that the people of Zimbabwe will unite, work together, and make sure that they confront the enemy in the room, which is corruption, which is looting, which is mismanagement, which is plunder of national resources. So I just want to acknowledge my brother Chatufa, who is here, as well as others who are right here with us. So I hope I will be able to probably invite my brother Chatufa if possible, so that we can get some insight from him. What does it mean for the people of Zimbabwe? What does the statement of Comrade Geza mean to the people of Zimbabwe? So I have sent the link only for my brother Chatufa, so that we can see if he can join us, so that we delve into this matter further and understand what is really happening. My brother Mbire, thank you very much as well for coming. So this is what is happening in Zimbabwe. Everybody is praying. Those in diaspora, they are praying. They want to come back home. They want to be with their families. They want to live better lives. Those at home, they are also willing to see their kids going to work. I was watching some documentaries for the war veterans. If you look at the way they are living in abject poverty. They are not well maintained as it is supposed to be. So that is something which is of concern right there. So when you look at it in the broader picture, you would understand that this is a very, very huge problem which our people are facing at this point in time. Everybody is being affected by whatever which is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. Whether you are from the opposition or if you're from ZANU-PF, we are equally being affected with whatever which is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. So it's high time we unite as a people and we try to work together. It's a high time we put our differences aside and we forge ahead for national development of our nation. And this time around, what we are hoping for is that we will need to build a military which is going to focus more on the protection of the people of Zimbabwe. Then the political arena will be allowed to operate freely. I believe Zimbabweans now have a common ideology. They now understand what is happening, and a lot is going to happen. So Teachman says, usiku wanasi kuchatovurwa hombe refu. There is a likelihood that tomorrow you might wake up to some news, but it will be a matter of time. We will be watching vigilantly. And as long as we are alive, as long as we are able, we will be trying by all means possible to bring the news to the people of Zimbabwe so that we cover everybody. Okay. Thank you very much for the clarity, my sister Mbire. Thank you very much for that clarity. And I will use the right title going forward. So that is great. Okay, hanzi namawana chaiwo hanzi nasi kwa kunoedza muchaona imwe signal. Yes, anything can happen. There is a possibility that we are likely going to see that, because if you look at the statement, he said, Zvigananda, be warned, we are coming after you. And last night, it seems as if there was another signal which was sent live and direct to Zvigananda. So we are likely going to see great things happening tomorrow. So this is it. I don't want to take much of your time. I think I was waiting for my brother to see if he can tune in, but it seems as if is quite late, so we might need to leave this program. Brian says we are tired of this government. People are running away because of economic meltdown. Yes, that is true. The economic meltdown in Zimbabwe is so tiresome because nothing is working. Even those who have been benefiting, for example, in the past, you could know children of teachers, children of nurses, and everyone else, they had opportunities. So let me take this opportunity to bring my brother Chatufa right here on stage, so that we can actually hear from him. So let me try by all means possible to see if he can come weigh in, so that we can hear more from him. So let us continue to weigh in, so that we can hear more from him. So, okay, I think, all right, let me try again to bring him so that we hear his views and his thoughts right here. My brother Chatufa.
Yes, brother, how are you?
I'm well, my brother. How are you?
No, doing great.
That's wonderful. We have seen what is happening. Comrade Geza came with a 1 minute signal. What does it tell?
Right. Of course, everyone was quite shocked, including all of us. We thought that the least time that he was going to speak was going to be possibly maybe 10, 15 minutes. But when I think what is at hand right now, he just wanted to send a message. And I think that the message has been conveyed and is quite clear. The message being that there could be a lot that is happening behind the scenes. You know, today we over last night to the morning, we experienced the bombings, or rather the infernos that took place in Harare, where Zvigananda were targeted, and quite a lot happened during that time. And still many questions are still being asked, because we never saw police showing up on the scene. It was actually the military on the scene, and we had Nick Mangwana also coming out and trying to, you know, propagandize the whole situation, saying that this is a whole staged thing. There is nothing that happened there, and stuff like that. So the message that Comrade Geza came with, it could simply be indicating that the Zvigananda and the cabal of Mnangagwa could be trying to play some tricks. You know, they are trying maybe to do some counter, you know, against the move of the Geza revolution, which maybe prompted him to come and give a message to them. I think there were just two messages: the message that is the last signal possibly, and of course to give a warning that Mnopera. And I don't think that that is a joke. I think he really wanted it to be emphasized. If he had said some things up to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe people were not going to get the actual message. That's why he had to limit it to that, to say, Munopera, stop what you are doing. There must be something that they are trying to do. But let's watch the space and see how things are going to be unfolding as from tomorrow and onward.
Well. So, how we have seen the police coming out and issuing a statement about the possible bombings, but we have not seen any possible arrests so far. And it seems as if there is limited information when it comes. There is another issue which happened in Bulawayo, where a police officer was shot dead there and there. by 5 men. What does that signify?
Right, you see, there is quite a lot that is happening. If we still remember, it's not long before we were talking again about the issue of what was the name? Is it Cassandra? That young police officer again who was shot in Bulawayo by another police officer. And remember the circumstances surrounding the death of that young police officer. We heard the relative, fuming during the time of the funeral and explaining that all this information that you are giving, the report that you are bringing to us, you police, is just nonsense, because there is no way that a thief who has been caught and is pressed down with someone's foot stepping on his neck would be able to take out a gun and shoot the very police officer. So we knew with the information that we got that this young lady is said to have been investigating something that involves the big wigs of ZANU-PF, and she had been warned that she should stop releasing the information she had, but she wanted to be professional. She was adamant, and she wanted to take that information out, and it has resulted in another police officer somehow either being forced, coerced, or bought by money to shoot the lady. So now the same scenario again is what we are seeing again happening in Bulawayo. And why is the police not talking about it? This is something that is just coming from social media, and the police have not given a formal statement on this. Why? And each time that you see the police reluctant to act in Zimbabwe, you know that ZANU-PF is involved.
So that is profound and understood. And we have so many things which are happening. Are we going to see witness or see further bombings tonight, or is there a possibility that we might see a different move like the one which happened in 2017 over this weekend, or people will wait for the 31st to go into the streets?
You see, one thing that we want to continue to remind the viewers about the Geza revolution is that this whole setup of the revolution has been kept under lock and key. Remember, Mnangagwa has tried so much to use the CIO to try and get information about the Geza revolution. Just yesterday, we had reports that they were sent all over in the districts, in provinces, in different places to go and try and locate who the king leaders, the king pins are, who are going to be leading the demonstration, and they came back with nothing. You see, and I was talking to the people on our platform and saying that this is just a sign that indicates that this revolution is done by people that are so professional, people that can be able to keep the secrets. There's no leakage, right? Which means it's a seriously planned movement, you see. So what it simply means now is that what could happen tonight is still again mysterious. We can't really tell because these guys have kept their modus operandi under very, very strict lock and key. So the possibility of further bombings or more damages to properties of Gananda, we can't rule that out. We can't rule that out. And we are also likely to be talking in the morning about a possible apprehension of individuals. We could be hearing in the morning that they got hold of so and so and so and so and so and so. That could be in the news tomorrow, and it's not surprising. So it's cumbersome, really. We can't really tell. But one thing that is also very sure about the Geza revolution, the guys are thorough, the guys mean business, and the guys don't joke. When they say what they say, they really mean it, and they move into it.
Yes. Then another very important thing which we have seen is that Nyokaima Bunu, one of the key vocalists about the 31st movement, has been placed on a wanted list by the police and is being accused or being charged with fraud. What does that signify? That they are not listing him or trying to link him to whatever which is happening on Monday, but they have opened a criminal case about him. What does that signify? Is it a matter of trying to tell the people that this group is well organized, is very, very important, and they are afraid? What does it mean?
Right. You see, there are two issues here. The first issue that I may want to talk about is the issue of that letter. You know, unless if there is another one, a different one that's circulated. I don't know if you have it. You could maybe put it on the screen. But that letter was also quite very suspicious, because unless if there is another one that I did not see. But if it is the one that I saw that that letter did not have a stamp to begin with, which could make it a bogus letter. Okay, the number one. Okay, putting that aside, coming back again to the same letter on another note, if the letter is genuine, it's just a sign that there is a lot of panic and fear in the Mnangagwa camp. Because remember, the new police commissioner is said to be a relative of Auxilia Mnangagwa. And Mnangagwa removing Matanga and putting this guy, he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew what was coming. So he needed a blue-eyed boy who could take instructions no matter what happened. So it's a sign that there is so much fear. They are trying to victimize individuals, to threaten people, so that maybe Nyokema Bunu could relent and stop, the spreading of the message of the uprising. So it's just a sign that we have a regime that is on panic. And why is it that every time when they are cornered, that's where they start to pull out some files that have issues to do with crimes and so forth? We saw it happening with also Cde Geza. They just brought in Ziambi running all over the place and saying that he killed a person. Why were you quiet? If Cde Geza killed a man in his farm in Sanyati, why were you quiet all these years? And just now you want to start to talk about it. So this is a sign, and we've always been saying that ZANU-PF, the problem with ZANU-PF, while of course we can blame a lot of these guys that are in ZANU-PF, majority of them, they are actually under threat. They've got files that, you know what ZANU-PF does? When they bring you in, or when you come in, they smear your hands with blood. They cause you to get into crime, and then they record the crime. They keep the file so that you are always under pressure. If you misbehave, they simply go and pull that file, and then they start to use that one to victimize you. Where is Terence Mkupe today? Who would ever thought that Terence Mkupe was going to be in Kami prison? The man was powerful. At one time, he was the deputy minister of, was it defense? Something like that. Was it defense or something? Or was it finance or defense? Huh?
Finance. Just imagine how powerful that was, right? And remember the other time he came on radio and he even said that the soldiers are never going to salute a president that comes from the opposition. But that man who could speak like that on behalf of ZANU-PF today is in prison. Who would have ever thought that happened? So ZANU-PF is a monster, and that's how they do their things. So it's either they can create a lie if you don't have an issue, or they can pull out a real file of a true existing crime that has been committed. So that's the modus operandi of ZANU-PF, a rotten one. Yeah, that's profound. Then, last but not least, let us talk about the issue of intercessors. What is the message to the people of Zimbabwe who have been interceding for this long for a better Zimbabwe?
Right. One thing that is for sure is that people that have been praying for Zimbabwe, we are seeing the results of the prayers. We are seeing the faithfulness of God in all this, because what we have been praying about, and by the grace of God, was being revealed to us is like things that were going to happen. You know, what we are seeing today, this revolution of the Geza revolution, ZANU-PF splitting, ZANU-PF cracking and attacking each other on social media, then fights, that would lead eventually to the collapse of the system, as well as Emmerson Mnangagwa. These are not things that are new. These are, to us who have been intercessors. We know these things. They've been told to us long back, and we've been talking about this over and over, that this and this and this is going to happen. And things have been unfolding exactly as the Spirit of God has been revealing to us as intercessors. So we're not shocked, really, to see these things happening. So what it simply means is that God has been faithful to his word and his promises over Zimbabwe. And where we stand right now, we are right at the junction. We are right at the cliff edge where now we need more prayers. In fact, people must be praying more now where we are. Intercessors must be more in their closet, because we are getting there. So the demon is about to go. The ZANU-PF demon is about to go. And you notice that demon can we don't want that. This is why we are also having prayer tonight on Chatufa TV Productions at 10 o'clock. We are going to be interceding. We're going to be praying for Zimbabwe. No bloodshed on the 31st. We are praying that God be ahead of us before we enter the streets. We want the will of God to happen over the nation of Zimbabwe. We don't want a civil war. We don't want war. We don't want to hear that soldiers have turned against each other and started to shoot each other. We want exactly what we've been praying for and what God has promised to really manifest. And we've just reached the end point right now.
Yeah, thank you very much, my brother, for coming and gracing us on the show. And your last words to the people of Zimbabwe.
Right, Zimbabwe, this is a golden opportunity that has been presented before us by the Lord. And God, being God, is not a man that he shall lie. We have seen his word coming throughout to where we are today. And I don't think that if we partake in the Geza revolution, we are making any mistake. There's no mistake. This is a thing that we've been waiting for. We knew it was going to come to happen. We didn't know, of course, who was going to do it or how it was going to happen, but here we are. So what we are simply saying is we cannot allow Emmerson Mnangagwa to go on even one extra day. Mnangagwa has been a monster. Mnangagwa has been the greatest enemy of the people of Zimbabwe. Mnangagwa has been the causing agent of the situation that Zimbabwe finds itself in today. So we now have a chance that has been presented by the heavens for Zimbabwean people to rise up and claim back their power. Power does not belong to Mnangagwa. Power belongs to the Zimbabwean people. So what we are simply doing is we are demanding our power from the oppressor. The oppressed will have to demand their power from the oppressor. The oppressor will never give power back to the people on a silver platter. So let's not relax and sit down. Those that are saying it's a ZANU-PF thing, they don't understand. They don't know what God is doing in the nation. They are too blind, and we can't be listening to them. Let's march on. Let's join hands on the 31st. All of us, kuma growth points, kuma Roseva, kuma towns and cities, all over Zimbabwe, Zambezi, let's all rise to the occasion and push the evil out of our country. Zimbabwe is going to be free. And I can assure you that what is coming after Mnangagwa is going to be the Zimbabwe that we've all waited for the past 45 years.
Thank you very much, my brother, for gracing us. And thank you very much for the insight. We have learned a lot, and I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
So this is it, Team Zimbabwe, and I just want to thank my brother Chatufa for joining us live right here on Africa and Beyond Television Network. So this is it. This is what's happening, and the Geza signal, it signifies a lot. It tells a lot where this nation is going to or is heading to, and it's high time as the people of Zimbabwe continue to fight for change. I just want to thank those who have joined us. Stephanie, thank you very much for coming, and thank you very much for the contributions right here. And Glot, thank you very much as well for coming. And Love, thank you very much. Nostar, thank you very much. Mbuya Sukuru, thank you very much. My sister Mbire, thank you very much. Fafi, thank you very much for coming. Tawanda, Precious, Brian, Mawan Chayo, thank you very much as well. Teachman, and thank you very much as well for the contribution. And this is it, Team Zimbabwe. Let us meet in other episodes and other broadcasts. But the bottom line is, tonight, there is an expectation that we might see some things happening. And the reason why you are not seeing arrests happening is because this is being done by very powerful people, well-organized people, who have risked their lives to make sure that they liberate Zimbabwe. So the regime is in panic. That is the reason why they have deployed illegal laws to try and silence us. Thank you very much, everyone. Let us meet in other episodes, in other broadcasts.